Hello and welcome to this Minecraft Redstone video where I will show you a storage system that I made. I will go over the modules that I used first to sort out the items, and then I will show you the full thing. I will at the end also put a Linematica schematic in the description for anyone who wants to build this. Let's go! So, we start off with this pretty basic module which sort out stackable from non-stackable items. The non-stackable items will not have enough redstone strength to toggle off the storage and thereby unlock the hopper, so they will just go straight through. Stackable items will go down. Then after that we sort out potions. We do that by just locking this hopper, so we try to push it into the brewery stand. If that doesn't work, we just let him go through, so we know it's not a potion. After this we have this crazy contraption. So what will happen is some item will come in, the comparator will detect that, will update this redstone dust here. The observer will know that and will power the dispenser. The dispenser will dispense the item. If it's a bucket or shears or flint and steel, it will stay in there. The system will know and will pull it out all into this chest. It will also pick up the water and stuff. Then there's this water slide. That's because if you put in a bucket with, for example, an axolotl, they will swim out and just end up down here where you can just pick them back up again if you want to. And all the other items will end up down in this chest. Then over here we have a system that will sort out water buckets by trying to dispense the output from that chest over there. It will try to dispense it onto the slab. Now only water buckets can do that, so the buckets of snow and lava will be dispensed out and just dropped in this chest. The flint and steel and shears will be kept in the dispenser but not update, so they will go here. And the water bucket will be dispensed, update the observer, and thus end up right here by triggering this. Next thing, we sort out shears and flint and steel by just trying to ignite this campfire. This observer will detect that, will unlock the hoppers for the flint and steel to go through. If it doesn't detect, the shears will just go into here. Whoops, let me just put it back, there we go. Next up we have a system that will detect if it's a shulker box and take it out, and if it's an empty shulker box or a shulker box with still items in it. So what happens here is the item gets dispensed. If it's a shulker box, it will of course get placed against this wall. So other items will just drop down. I have made a wall here. Then there's this shenanigans going on with the stairs that are waterlogged, making a water source once this gets pulled back. And at that point the shulker box will break, end up in the water stream, and just end up in here. If there is items in the shulker box, the system will know immediately, will unlock the lower hopper, and then once the piston fires, it will just go straight through into the lower chest. Then here we have a shulker box unloader, which uses hopper minecarts, which are stacked on top of each other on this in this block. So it can unload shulker boxes pretty fast. I have prepared a shulker box filled with stone. I'm just gonna put it in, and I will try to show you how quickly it can empty this, but it's pretty fast. So I'm gonna put it down and just immediately open it. Normally the system will place it, but then I can't see because it's up against the piston. So yeah, this is how fast it can empty the shulker boxes, and it breaks them automatically afterwards. Everything ends up in this chest in the system. It will just get sent back up through the water column, and then everything gets sorted again. So yeah, the output from that ends up in a water column like this. It will just detect if there's items, and then it will extend this piston, allowing the observer clock to power the dropper. Then here I have an armor sorter, designed by Elmango. I will put a link to his video in the description. And what it does is it dispenses an armor stand, and then it will try to put the armor on with the input dispenser. Dispensing of armor stands only got added in 1.15, so if you're playing after that, this system won't work. If you're playing before that, the system won't work. So the items that can be equipped will end up in the bottom chest, the other ones will end up on top. And then here, this is a system that I have designed again. This is a system that will take boats and minecarts out from the rest. Minecarts will get dispensed on the rail, go over here, boats will get dispensed and just flow off here. That's why the pistons are here to push it underneath the blocks. The other items will get picked up by the hoppers. Now, waterlogged rails only got added in 1.17. So if you're playing before that, I suggest you just separate these two and make one where it dispenses on the normal rail, one where it dispenses in water, and that way you can still sort them out. Then over here we have the basic stackable item sorter, and I have prepared filters for the items that stack to 64 and items that stack to 16. So what I find useful is that you take your filter item, and for stackable items to 64 you take 41 of them and then 3 extra. So that way any item that comes in here will go through only from the first slot. And then here you take 35 and then the same thing happens. And they will just go into these chests. So now to check out the entire system, I use a trap chest on top of here. That's just to lock the hopper underneath as long as the chest is open. That way you can put in items, and if you realize you didn't want the item, and you can still take it out. What I do then is I sort out the stackable items and the unstackable items. Stackable items go through, unstackable items go through down here, and they end up in this chest, which just slows down the input, so it will tick tick tick. Then an observer will see it and will power this redstone torch for a little bit, so one item can pass through. That way the system can just slowly handle it and there's no problem. So we sorted the potions, the buckets, water, flint and steel and shears. On the other side we sort out shulker boxes and we unload them, or we send over the input to the boats and minecarts, and that's all the output chests. So as you could probably see before, I have prepped my inventory with all sorts of items. I'm just gonna put them in here. And so this is what I really like. As long as this chest is open, nothing will go through, which makes it very easy to take out items, switch them from place. So I'm gonna put this right here because it's a lot of items that get dispensed and stuff and it might get laggy. So I'm just gonna put it down here so it takes a bit longer. But yeah, once I close this chest, everything will start going through. What you will also notice is this comparator will turn on, and that will make sure that as long as there are items flowing from this chest, the input from the system itself gets locked off, so there is no overlap from inputs. As you can see, these hoppers get locked off, so if a shulker box, for example, has unloaded and the items flow in, they can't go through as long as there's items flowing in from the main chest. So here you can see ender pearls have already gone through. Here it's piling up and it just slowly starts going through. Then potions end up in here. Everything else goes down here into this system. See everything going through. Ends up in here, gets dispensed. Ends up here. Oh yeah, first the armor, then here gets broken down. Ends up in the input chest. So I'm gonna let this run for a while and I'll show you the results once everything is sorted. Alright, everything is done sorting, and as we can see, we've got the TNT from the TNT minecart, the 16 ender pearls, and the furnace from the furnace minecart, all the items from inside the shulker box. And then because I've been stupid and this should have been one higher up, There is one item right here, um, because the hopper doesn't pull out. So yeah, that's the thing. But we see the 4 potions ended up in here. Empty shulker boxes ended up in here. Then down here we've got minecarts, boats, all the other unstackable items that you can't really sort out using any redstone, the armor, flint and steel, the shears, water buckets, lava and powdered snow, and most importantly, the axolotl is safe. So that's it for this video. I hope you have a wonderful time, and I will see you again another time. Bye bye.